Okay, well, welcome everyone to today's UCL Global Business School for Health Business and Health information event. My name is Emily and I am the Recruitment and Outreach Officer here at GBSH. We're hoping that this session will give you further detail on what to expect if you choose to study Business and Health at the Global Business School for Health, and help you gain a bit of an insight into what it's really like to study on this exciting programme. We're also here to respond to any questions you have. You'll see that there is a Q&A button at the bottom of the Zoom screen, so you can submit your questions at any time throughout this session, and we will have a panel who will address those questions at the end after our presentation. This session is also being recorded and we will be sharing it via email following today's event, so don't worry about taking lots and lots of notes because we will be sending this out to you. So to introduce our speakers, I am delighted to welcome Blessing Adedoyan, who is a strategy and marketing specialist who studied for her MBA at GBSH. She will be delivering a short presentation in a second to give you some background on the Global Business School for Health at UCL. Following Blessing's introduction, Dr. Yemisi Bolade Ogunfoden, who is an associate professor in organizational behavior here at GBSH, will give you some more information about the Business and Health program. In a second, we'll also be joined by Karina, who is a master's student who has just finished her studies at the Global Business School for Health, so she can give you a bit more information about what it's like to be a student here. As I said, at the end of the session, there will be a Q&A segment, so please type in any questions that you have throughout the presentations into the Q&A section, and we'll answer them at the end. And with that, I'm going to hand over to our first speaker, Blessing, and I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Okay, Blessing, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Brilliant. I'll mute myself and put that.
Could you get rid of the side and just make it a bit bigger, please? Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so the first page, please. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this session. My name is Blessing. It's nice to meet you, even though I can't see anybody, but it's nice to meet you all. So I'm just going to talk a little bit more about UCL, just in case you do not know. And if you have any questions about anything that I discuss, you can ask at the end. Okay, so UCL is, as you know, a very popular university all over the world. It was founded in 1826, and it was actually one of the first universities to welcome women. The founder the founder of UCL is Jeremy Bentham. He was a famous philosopher and a jurist. And UCL has a long history of making contributions within the healthcare industry, very transformative change. And we are part of a huge tradition of disruptors who make the world better every day. Next slide, please. Thank you. Okay, so in terms of rankings, UCL is actually the second in the UK, ranked second for its research strength. UCL is known globally as being very, very strong in research. We're the second in the UK. Globally, we are 9th in the world. There are over 25,000 universities in the world, and UCL is number 9th. That just means UCL is kind of a big deal. Loads of people in the UCL space. We have thousands of people who are working here. There are over almost 17,000 staff members. That's the academic, professional staff members. We also have 30 Nobel Prize winners. And hopefully some of you will be in the future numbers. So you're in good company, basically. We have 840 professors at UCL. And we're very, very often University of the Year. UCL is known as London's global university. There are people here from all over the world. You'll feel very much at home when you arrive here. Next slide, please. So the UCL Global Business School for Health, as you may know, this is the world's first business school that's completely dedicated to health. When I decided to come here for my MBA, the fact that you have a business school that is able to marry health and healthcare with business, you really just think, why didn't they think of this sooner? So it's a really unique institution. There isn't currently anywhere that can boast of being completely dedicated to health. The mission of GBSH is to reimagine global healthcare management. And to also unravel all the health challenges from a business perspective. And one of the unique things that the UCL Global Business School for Health does is being able to marry two very distinct professions, which is business and health, marry the two together in a way that has never really been done before, and you realize just how much both of those professions rely and need each other. GBSH questions the status quo in healthcare management, and all of this is with the mission to inspire public good. Next slide, please. Sorry, the slides take a long time to show up on my page. This is probably why I'm taking a while. Okay, so you're probably wondering, why does anybody need a business school for health? And it's because the world is changing every day, as we all know. And the challenges within healthcare itself are changing all the time. They are constant, unprecedented challenges that we face within healthcare. And the solutions that we need in this day and age requires a different education, a different type of delivery of education that will allow the past silos that have existed within health and healthcare disciplines to be replaced with more of an interdisciplinary thinking and actions. So the main idea is because the world is changing, healthcare also has to change. And so the Business School for Health really allows students and candidates who come into any program here to think in a completely new and transformative way in order to bring change into the world. GBSH partners with public and private organizations and universities all over the world and make up an evolving health ecosystem that embeds discoveries and solutions for quicker, and that's all I can see on my screen. I can't see the rest of the slide on my screen. But yes, the GBSH partners with organizations, universities all over the world. The main aim is to bring about change and have positive impact. And whoever is key to partner with, GBSH has probably partnered with them. So again, you will be in good company and you're learning from the world's absolute best. Next slide, please. Okay, so GBSH launched just a couple of years ago and has been able to proudly launch a few different programs. We've got MSc programs, master's programs, and an MBA, as well as an executive MBA. We're also launching our degree program, which is the Business and Health BSc, which I believe that's what many of you are interested in. It's a game changer, this program. Having the ability to be able to go in as an undergraduate and have the exposure to all the wonderful things that is happening within the health and business landscape is a phenomenal opportunity that I think you should all be very excited to be a part of. And GBSH absolutely prides itself in being able to deliver these programs alongside healthcare professionals, and this is really what makes it truly impactful as an institution. We have an interdisciplinary health and business faculty, and this faculty is made up of world-leading experts. I mean, when I did my MBA, we were having speakers from, we had executives from the NHS, we had people from public and private, we had just people that you never think you'd have the opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation with. We had the opportunity to do that. So it's a really good space. You're in a company of people who are thought leaders. They're making huge impact and change in the world. So the people that teach at GBSH are all global experts in their own right. And these experts don't only cover a wealth of subject areas to solve interdisciplinary healthcare challenges, but they also represent all the major health systems of the world. And this allows them to be able to share their insights globally. Within the programs, we use case studies, simulations, experiential learning, so that you fully understand the various business topics within the complex healthcare sector. We have, I remember speaking to some of our executive MBA candidates, and these are, top consultants in the medical field. And a lot of them, their favorite part of the executive MBA so far is like the simulation, because it gives like a real life experience of what it's like to run a hospital. So the opportunity to learn in different diverse ways is truly unique here at GBSH. So just to go over some of the degree programs that we do here, like I mentioned, we have the BSc in Business and Health. We have the MSc Digital Health and Entrepreneurship, MSc Biotech and Pharmaceutical Management. We also have the MSc in Global Healthcare Management, as well as the MBA and Executive MBA in Health. Next slide, if I still have a slide. Okay, so like I said before, UCL is very strong globally in its research, and GBSH as well. Our research areas are obviously more contextualized to health, but at the moment, our research areas are in health systems and policy. So that deals a lot with strengthening primary healthcare in the context of urbanization, ecological change, and commercialization. Also a lot of research into how we might improve governance of mixed public and private health systems in order to create public good and advance health equity. Another research area is health management and innovation. And this allows us to be able to leverage new and disruptive digital health platforms and technologies that will help to improve health and healthcare. We have researchers who are harnessing AI and data-driven approaches to redesigning different approaches to precision healthcare. We also have a lot of research that's done in health financing and operations. And this deals with being able to apply economic evaluation and value-based healthcare approaches in order to achieve efficiencies in healthcare delivery. So there's a lot of really, really strong research happening here at GBSH. And I'm sure you'd be excited to be exposed more to that. I believe this is my last slide. Okay, I'm now going to pass on to Professor Yemisi to take on the following slides.
All right, thank you very much, Blessing. I'm going to share from my screen. I hope everyone can see.
Yeah, we can see Yemisi.
All right.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so welcome everyone to this session. It's a pleasure to be here and to speak to you and share a little bit more about one of the programs Blessing spoke about, the undergraduate degree program in Business and Health. As you've heard before, I am Dr. Yemisi Bolade Ogunfodun. I'm an associate professor in organizational behavior, and I am a program route lead for one of the MSc programs you heard earlier, the Global Healthcare Management Program. But right now, I want to talk to you about the undergraduate program that we have. It's really exciting. And this is one of those ways that you can really benefit from the interdisciplinary experience that Blessing talked about. So this BSc and the MSci Business and Health program is the UCL's Business and Management undergraduate degree, but with a health focus. So you will be getting a business and management degree, but specializing in health, in that health domain. So what that means really is that you have a core business curriculum, and you will be studying courses like accounting, marketing, finance, strategy, entrepreneurship, quite a range of areas within business and health. But also, this will be paired with cutting-edge courses in health and healthcare. And so we have two specialist routes that you can take. You can choose the healthcare management route, and you can choose the health science route. And I will explain that in some more detail in a few minutes. We also have, as part of the whole package, business placement option or the study abroad option, particularly for the MSci route. So for this undergraduate program, we're just launching this. We're starting next year, September 2025. The BSc program is a traditional 3-year program that you often find in many universities. The MSci has an extra year, so it's for a 4-year period. And the location is at UCL East. So we are part of UCL, but we are located in the East Campus, which is in Stratford. All right, so why do we think, or why do we believe that business and health make a good BSc? Well, one of the first things that you will experience is that comprehensive understanding of healthcare systems. So you will be getting foundational knowledge about healthcare systems, policies, healthcare practices, delivery models, the regulatory frameworks that guide service delivery in healthcare, and several public health concepts. In addition to this, you will be developing business acumen within healthcare. So you will be developing some skills that are tailored to the healthcare sector. For example, healthcare finance, healthcare economics, strategic management specific to healthcare organizations. Apart from this, you have a lot of versatility and flexibility when it comes to the kinds of career paths that you can, go for. So you can access a wide range of career opportunities in a number of areas. For example, healthcare administration, health policy analysis, healthcare consulting, medical sales, healthcare marketing, and so on. Again, you will acquire transferable business skills that you can apply across several industries beyond healthcare. So you have things like leadership, finance, marketing, and project management skills are transferable skills that you can actually deploy irrespective of which sector you end up in. In addition to this, you will develop problem-solving skills. So what this means is that you will learn how to analyze complex healthcare issues, but from a business perspective, and you will be able to develop, innovative solutions in order to improve healthcare outcomes and, of course, efficiency. Then again, we want to help you to develop an entrepreneurial mindset. So this means you will explore opportunities that will help you innovate and drive change in healthcare through either entrepreneurship or working with healthcare technology startups, etc. And finally, why we believe that business and health make a good BSc is that it helps you to bridge the gap between clinical and administrative roles. So this means that your communication skills will be really top-notch. You will develop those skills that help you to bridge the gap between clinical professionals and healthcare administrators. And that means you can facilitate collaboration and teamwork across disciplines. And that is a really, important skill to have. And finally, you will develop leadership skills. You will understand the unique challenges of managing healthcare organizations and leading teams in both clinical and administrative environments. And we have evidence to show from the Bureau of Labor Statistics that, indeed, there are job opportunities for you. As you can see from the graph on the screen, quite a gap between those who are hired and the job openings available. So you do have this sort of data that kind of gives you confidence to go into this kind of space, because you will be able to directly make an impact and add value in the world of work. So let's talk about the program structure. I'll start with the BSc program. So this one requires you to have taken modules totaling 360 credits, broken down into 20 compulsory 15-credit modules, and then 2 projects in the final year, which carry 30 credits each. So the projects would be the Business and Health Research Project. You are required here to produce original research, but it's desk research, and just integrate your learning across the program. And the other one is a capstone project in Business and Health, which really integrates academic coursework with practical experiences and all the things that you've learned across the years. And this will enable you make that transition from the academic environment to the more complex environment of health and healthcare. So that's the undergraduate 3-year BSc program. The MSci program is the one which requires you to have taken 480 credits. And this is broken down into 20 compulsory 15-credit modules, like the BSc program. But in addition, a study abroad, which carries 120 credits, or a placement option and a 60-credit dissertation. So altogether, you will have taken 480 credits. The study abroad is a year that you go off. You can decide where you want to go to. It gives you a chance to explore the healthcare space really through a cross-cultural lens. So you'll be focusing on themes of health and business, but in an international context. So you don't necessarily have to be in the UK. You can go to a different environment to understand their own healthcare systems. So essentially, you'll be putting into practice all the things that you've learned on the program. The work placement, again, also enables you to demonstrate the knowledge and skills you've gained on the program through a work placement that's relevant to your chosen route. And I'll talk about the routes shortly. And then you have the dissertation, which comes at the end of the 4-year MSci program, which is that integrated program. It brings together your learning across the program through research and investigation. You use primary research to produce something really original that really adds value to healthcare. So the MSci is an undergraduate program that really culminates in a master's degree qualification. That's why it's integrated. So what you have is that in the first 3 years, it looks almost similar to the BSc program, but there are slight differences, and you'll see that as we go along. So in the first year, for example, all the students across the 2 routes take common modules in their first year. So if you're on the BSc route, in term 1 and term 2, you're taking the same modules. If you're on the MSci 4-year route, in term 1 and 2, you're also taking the same modules. It starts to differ in the second year. So in year 2, those on the 3-year BSc route, in the first term of their second year, take similar modules. But in the second term, they start to take different modules. So within the BSc route, you can choose to do health management, focus on that, or BSc health science. Okay, so those are the 2 different routes. On the MSci route, the 4-year program, you could also choose to specialize in the health management route or the health science route. So in the second year, for all these undergraduate students, those taking health management will be taking similar modules in their second year. And those taking health science will also be taking similar modules, as you can see. So for those on the health management route, you will take modules like healthcare finance, healthcare supply chain management, human resources and workforce planning, and health economics. So you'll be taking those across the BSc and the MSci route. If you are taking the health science option, you will be taking modules like demographic analysis, frontiers of knowledge in population health, a life course approach to health, acute and chronic infectious diseases. All right, so this is a picture of what the second year looks like. You start to see some clustering depending on the program itself. In the third year, those on the BSc route, this is their final year, right? So if you are on the BSc route, it's a 3-year program, this is your final year. In the first term, again, you see that division. Those on the health management route take certain modules: health policy and management, operation strategy, and then a couple more: data analytics and AI for healthcare, and health and sustainability. Whilst those on the health science route also take the data analytics and health and sustainability modules, but in addition take health and economic development and population aging. And then in the second term of the final year, you all take common modules again. So you can see quite a range of not just business, but cutting edge health modules that really, gives you a flavor, an idea of the vast knowledge domain out there and what you need to equip yourself before you get into the world of work. Now, for the MSci route, which is a 4-year program, remember, this is the third year of the MSci route. So in terms 1 and 2, those on the health management route can take a work placement or study abroad. And the same goes for those on the health science route, a work placement or study abroad. Remember, that carries a certain number of credits as well. So while those on the BSc are taking their courses and rounding up, those on the MSci route are having their work placement or study abroad in the third year. The fourth year only applies to those on the MSci route. And what they'll be doing here is taking some master's level modules. So they'll be taking in term 1, healthcare power and politics, pharmaceutical and biotech policies and practices, digital health startups, strategic healthcare leadership. And you start to see this really neat integration of health and business by the time they get to the 4th year. In the second term, again, they take common modules, and that wraps up the MSci program. Okay. So how can we support as GBSH? There are scholarships and funding opportunities available, some from GBSH, some from government. There are bursaries available from UCL, a range of scholarships that you can explore. So have a look at that link and see what you are eligible for, and go for it, apply for it. This will help to support your whole educational experience. Please get in touch with us if you have any questions on that. What is life like on the campus at UCL East, where we are? You will be enjoying state-of-the-art facilities in the heart of the Olympic Park in Stratford in East London. In addition to that, there's the exciting new student accommodation right on the campus, in London's vibrant East End, with a range of cultural and educational organizations. So lots of shops. There's a Westfield shopping center, which is well known in London. Again, Stratford is very close to St. Pancras International, which is another hub in terms of travel. There are also state-of-the-art facilities available for you to explore. So you will really be getting, this complementary experience of London while studying with us at the Global Business School for Health at UCL East. Again, as was mentioned before when Blessing was speaking, the Global Business School for Health is an organization that believes very much in partnership, and we partner with health organizations, universities, a range of organizations for different things. For instance, internships and work placements for our students, study abroad. We run summer schools, joint projects. We do executive education. We do offer that for very experienced senior staff of organizations. We also customize training programs, for at all levels for people in different organizations. So there are a range of things that we do at the Global Business School for Health. I hope this has given you a really, good idea of what the program is like, the undergraduate program. What options are there for you to think about as you prepare for this next year. And we're looking forward to having you. Thank you once again for being here with us on this session. And if you have any questions, we're looking forward to taking and answering your questions. Thank you so much. I'm going to hand over now to Karina, I believe.
Hi, everyone. I'm Karina. I'm a current master's student. So I'm really happy to take any questions you have about the student life, about the East Campus. Drop them in the Q&A box. We have 3 questions already. How's the job demand for people who study business and health and complete masters? So I'm just completing my master's. I would say that there is a lot of demand in the market because, like Dr. Yamisi was saying, that this course was curated specially based on a gap in the market. We don't have leaders who have business and health expertise. And given the wide range of job prospects with this kind of training, and it's not just academics, I think the course has trained us in leadership, just the way we think, the way we respond to challenges. We would fit in anywhere we wanted to work, honestly. And I do see a lot of jobs that require health expertise along with a business background. So it's really helped out that I did this integrated course. How many places are available for international candidates? Dr. Yemisi, do you want to take that?
Well, I'm not sure I can give you a figure. What I would say is apply as quickly as you can. That's the best advice I'll give to you, because from what we've seen since the business school started, there's been a huge interest in terms of applicants coming to the business school for health, huge interest. So my advice to you would be apply as quickly as possible so that you can secure your space.
Thank you for that. Afreen has asked, what careers could you go into with a MSci degree and what salaries? So like Dr. Yemisi mentioned in her presentation, you could go into health consulting, you can go into health management, you can go into pharmaceutical management. There's really a wide range of options for you based on your interests. And the course is split into 2 divisions in a way that you can specifically train for the kind of role you're interested in. So whether you're interested in a more research-based position or management-based position, you have your options really wide open. I hope that answers your question. What's the difference between business and health program and the medical innovation and enterprise program? Dr. Yemisi, I think that one's for you again.
Well, the business and health program is what we offer at the Global Business School for Health. I'm not sure what you mean by the medical, innovation program, but on our program, we combine business knowledge, developing business acumen and skills with the functional health areas. As I presented before, you have quite a range of courses or modules within the healthcare domain, but also we ensure that these are, integrated with the business knowledge that you need. So that's a major difference. Oftentimes when you go for health courses or health programs, it's really focused on that functional area health. It's not very, as we said before, the Global Business School for Health is the very first business school dedicated completely to health in the world. So that tells you that's something very unique. It's something very new. And that's what we offer. So please do come along, join there, be at the cutting edge of making a change or making a difference in the world of healthcare. Yes, so that's, you see, you are talking about a medical sciences faculty, and the focus there would be on, I'm referring to the earlier question on the innovation program, is focused on purely, science-based. In terms of what you're looking at is purely science-based. You don't really have that business emphasis there. But for the Global Business School for Health, this is the reason why we exist. And right from the beginning, especially from the first year where the students take similar modules, you will get a grounding in certain business, subject areas that then we start to integrate these gradually into the healthcare domains. And so by the time you finish, you have both, and which is why it gives you versatility in terms of career. You're not limited to just the medical space. You can actually pivot into more managerial roles or consulting roles, depending on where your interests lie and if your interests happen to change through the years. So it does give you that very good platform. I hope that answers your question.
Next one. Afreen has asked what I am planning to do after my master's. Afreen, that's a very good question. I'm planning to go into healthcare consulting. That is the whole reason I opted for this course. I have a medical background as well as business experience. So I think consulting is the perfect niche for me. And I do see a lot of life sciences consulting roles open. So if you are interested in something similar, this is probably a good route to go down. Since the Business and Health BSc MSci is a unique course, is it possible to submit a separate personal statement? Is it possible to submit a separate statement?
Hi, I'm just going to jump in to answer this one.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hello, 1 second. Hi, so we get a lot of questions about personal statements for this course that we totally understand because it is quite a unique program. Not many other universities offer a similar thing. And so we don't take an additional personal statement that's separate from your standard UCAS one, but what we do say is we understand that actually elsewhere you might just be applying to an economics degree, or you might be applying to medicine or more health related degrees elsewhere. So we do accept personal statements that are more focused on one of the two disciplines. Obviously, it's going to help your case and help your application if you show interest to both sides. But we are realistic, and we do know that it's likely that it will focus much more heavily on one of the two of business and health. So yeah, not a separate statement, but we care more about the quality of the personal statement than the content being 50% about why you want to study business and 50% why you want to study health.
Someone asked, is it easy to apply? I wouldn't say it's the most challenging. I think the process can be daunting for a lot of people, but I think you should see it as exciting, right? Because it's a new start for you. You're about to learn something new, meet a whole cohort of new people. It's not challenging to apply if you're sure it's what you want. I think it can be an exciting process to really pen that down into your personal statement and keep your fingers crossed waiting for the offer. What work experience would you recommend for this course for personal statements? I think we're pretty flexible, if I'm not wrong, with the work experience you have, as long as your personal statement reflects your combined interest in business and health. Emily, do you want to jump in with that as well?
Hi, sorry. Yes, we are flexible with that. Things that would be helpful would be, for example, a summer school that was, it doesn't have to just be work experience. It could be things like, I've attended this summer school by X university focusing on health or focusing on business. I've attended this talk by this university. We're quite flexible in terms of what kind of experience you talk about on your personal statement. So we would accept a wide range of work experiences, both in the fields of business and health. But, also not everyone can find work experience placements. So we do also value things like going to lectures or listening to podcasts. We have a Global Business School for Health podcast. If you listen to something like that and talked about one of the podcast episodes, that would also be great interest in the subject as well.
Sorry, Emily, I think the next one is also for you. Do you accept access to higher education courses?
Yeah, that one I just saw. That is a question more for our kind of admissions team, and something that we'd answer more on a personal basis. So a question like that, if you would like to send us an email after this session or get in touch with our admissions, I think would be the best way to go about answering that one. But I'll write some more information in the chat for them.
Okay, even the next one, please. What's your criteria to select candidates during review process?
Yeah, I think like a lot of courses, we look at, I am not in admission, so I'm just going to give you quite a general answer to this. But we look at personal statements. We look at, so like I said, if you are able to show, interest in business, interest in health. What would be really great is to show your interest in how the two of them work together. So we look at personal statements, we look at grades. Some people have asked about eligibility requirements for A levels. It's ABB for a standard offer, BCC for a contextual admissions offer. So I think they would be the main kind of things we're looking at. I'm not sure if Yemisi have you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, you want to make sure that your personal statement stands out. As you can imagine, the admissions team will be going through loads and loads of personal statements. What is that one thing, or what is that thing you can put in your statement that makes the admissions officer say, hey, I'm putting this aside? So think about that. If you were the recruiting officer or the admissions officer, what would make you pick up that application and say, right, this is the kind of person we want? So maybe you want to do a little bit of research on the business school itself. You see, show that you are really keen to come, you know what's going on. If you want to come around and attend an event, that's great. Summer schools are usually popular. Just go the extra mile and do something that makes your application stand out. That always works, right?
Okay. What advice and tips would you give? Wow, the whole screen just moved. Sorry. What advice and tips would you give to someone applying to this unique course, especially in terms of the personal statement? Okay, I can answer this from a fellow student perspective. I think the personal statement is a very good chance to also think about whether the course is right for you, right? They're going to use it to screen whether you are right for the course, but it gives you a good opportunity to really think about why you're going into this course. And since the course is a combination of business and health, naturally you have to be interested in a combination of the two in different ratios. That's fine, and that has to be reflected in your experience. So it's not enough to just say that, yeah, I'm interested in both business and health, and to see how they combine. Something you've done, any experience you've had that really reflects why you're interested in the two is always good to mention. If you don't have any, you can still go out and get some. It's not too late. When will the course be on UCAS? Emily?
Yep, so it will be in September. I can get the date for you in a second. I will type that into the chat.
Okay. What countries are available for students to spend their year abroad, and what organizations can students choose for their work placement? I think Dr. Yemisi would be the best to answer this.
Well, what I can say about that is this. Once you're on the program, details will be made available to you as to the countries to go to, the options. I do know that on the master's program, we have a few countries that our students have visited. We have a few countries that our MBA students have visited for their, consultancy work. And so once you're in, more detailed information will be given to you about that, and you'll be hearing more about that from your program lead, okay?
Someone has asked, my son has been accepted to another course at UCL for 24-25. Is it possible to enroll to Business and Health BSc during the course?
Yeah, sorry. Again, that is more, because that's quite a specific question. I would suggest for the most reliable and specific feedback, sending us a message after the session, or again, contacting UCL admissions as well. So getting in contact with us so we can give you a little bit more personalized information.
Thank you. How long has the East Campus of UCL been open, and what's the estimated size of the student population there? I think it's been open about 2 years. I was there for the Marsh Gate opening ceremony, and it was actually amazing. When we first found out we were at the East Campus, I'm not going to lie, my batch was a bit disappointed because we really wanted to be in the heart of the Bloomsbury campus, which is, the main structure that UCL is known for. But now that the year is over, we are so grateful that we were on the East Campus. There is always space to study at the library, which is a luxury in itself. And the campus is actually really nice. So if you do visit London sometime, you should go and see it. It's a really nice campus. Estimated student population size, I don't know. Does anyone know that?
I think that we're meant to grow to about 5. I think it's 4,000, 5,000 is what it will be at when we're at full capacity here at East. we're still very new, so I think we're still building up to that. But yeah, about 4,000 to 5,000, I think.
Are there still accommodation spaces for 2024, 2025? You can actually check in, I think it's through the main UCL website where you can check. I think they shut applications pretty early. But if there is still spaces available, I think you'll be able to see it there, right, Emily?
Yep, and also we've got a whole accommodation team, so looking up the accommodation office within UCL and giving them an email would be your best bet for answering that question as well.
How safe is it to walk around Stratford area? I've never felt unsafe there personally. It's a very nice walk actually from the station to the campus. And if you walk through the mall, you're essentially passing every food joint that exists. It's very safe, maybe not for your wallet because you're going to feel hungry very often and going to want to buy everything they have to sell. But it's not unsafe. It's very safe. Again, though, just like anywhere else in London, you have to be careful. You have to be a bit, aware of what's going on around you. Maybe don't hold your phone in your hand while you walk. But that goes for everywhere in London. There's nothing particularly unsafe about Stratford. Preferred A-level subjects, do we have?
Yeah, so we do not have specific A-level subjects, so we don't require maths or a science, for example. We do go by, so UCL has a list of preferred subjects, which pretty much all courses at UCL would prefer you to take. That's quite a long list, but you can check that on the UCL website. It's called UCL's preferred subjects. But yeah, we as a business and health does not have specific subjects you need to take as a requirement.
What is the student life like for a bachelor student at UCL East? It's like any other student at UCL. Honestly, UCL East is not a separate entity. UCL East has events. We had a lovely Christmas party. We had spring events. We have East exclusive events happening all the time. But again, if you want to take part in societies or events that are happening on the main campus, it's just a short train ride away. So personally, even though I had classes 4 days a week, I took part in a bunch of societies, and I was always going from East to the main campus. And it's nice because you get to be part of both the events. As this is a health-related degree, will you need to give an interview to UCL when you apply for the BSc or MSc? I think interviews are a part of the process, but they're not a given. So you might have to and you might not have to. Is that right?
Yeah, for 2025 entry, I don't believe that we're doing interviews. That might change in the future, but not for applications for 2025.
How competitive would you say this course is? I would say it's getting increasingly competitive. I might have gotten a little bit lucky in my year, but I do know that people applied for this year and I don't think they've gotten in. So it is getting more and more competitive. If you apply early, it's better for you. I applied the day applications opened, and I got my answer pretty quickly. So I would say definitely try to apply early. If my IELTS score is 7 overall, but 6 in minimum, do you accept ESL score B?
Again, that's something for us. We can look into that. So if you have very specific questions about entry requirements, just give us an email and we can look into it in a bit more detail.
When will the offer be made for the 2025 course application?
We don't, it kind of depends on when you get your application in by. As I think Yamisi and Karina have said, the earlier the better. Then you find out earlier whether or not you've received a place. But yeah, it's kind of dependent on when you apply by, I would say.
Definitely try to get it in early. I got my offer in 3 weeks and I applied in October. And I know people who applied in January or February and they were waiting for 12 weeks because I think that's when a lot of other applications go in. So it takes time to go through all of them. The earlier, the better, guys. Can I apply for business and management and business and health through UCAS? I think that's for you, Emily.
Yes, I think that would be fine. And yeah, I am assuming it's both. They're both UCL ones. Yeah, business and yeah.
Who is the main professor? There are many professors. All of them have different things to teach you. You have different things to gain from all of them.
Yeah, so if I can just chip in, typically programs are organized and you will have a program lead. Okay, so the health science, the health management routes will have program leads. You will be introduced to these individuals once you're in. Usually we have the first week before lectures begin is an induction week. So you get to meet your program leads, you meet your other colleagues within your cohort. You also meet, you probably meet the director of the business school herself, Professor Nora Colton. So that's when you kind of see the structure, you know, and you'll be relating not just with the module leads, but from time to time with your program lead. Okay, so that gives you a visual picture of the structure in terms of who you're interacting with and who supports you.
Dr. Yamisi, I think you can help with this one as well. Does the work placement have to be done in UK, and what position can I take?
Well, I would say not necessarily in the UK, not necessarily. As you know, as I mentioned to you before, we have a lot of partnerships with different organizations, and so we'll start putting all of this together. We'll ensure that, you know, that it's quite, the arrangements are neat and ready for the students, you know, to really go in there and start to learn and put into practice what they've learned on their program. So it doesn't necessarily have to be in the UK. As I said before, I mean, on the master's side, our MBA students went to India, they went to Saudi Arabia, you know, so over the last 2 years, they've been to different countries. So we do give you that opportunity. It's a global business school, so we are very much open to giving you that global perspective. Okay.
Emily, I think this one's for you. If I apply with grades higher than the standard offer, what would my final offer be?
Yeah, I'm assuming this means, would it be like a conditional, unconditional offer or something? That I'm assuming that's what the question is. I can't tell you now what the final offer would be. If you can apply with grades higher than the standard offer, that's brilliant. If I've slightly misunderstood your question, again, please email us and we can give you a more detailed answer. But yeah, at this point, I can't tell you what the final offer would be.
What would you say was the most interesting module to learn and why? That's so interesting. I think for me, it was healthcare, power, and politics. It just made me think about the whole world in a different way. I don't think we really realize how much power and politics come into play. In health, I didn't expect it to come into play at all. Even though I was a medical student, I just didn't see what was right in front of me. So after the module, I look at things with this new lens. I'm able to analyze stakeholders, which I find relevant in almost every aspect of my life. So it's changed a lot for me. When is the most appropriate time to submit UCAS?
As soon as possible. As soon as it's, you know, as soon as your personal statement's done and you've made all your choices, the sooner the better. I think if you can take away one thing from this session, I think that's what we've all repeated a lot, isn't it? That as soon as you can, it would be best to get it in and still, instead of kind of waiting until the kind of January time. Karina, just looking at the clock, we've got about 2 minutes left. So are you ready to start wrapping up?
Yes.
I'll quickly say, any questions that we haven't had time to answer, please do get in touch with us. We are more than happy to answer it over email or have a quick phone call or meeting with you.
Okay. I'm just going to quickly skim through and see if there's something I can answer in a minute. You can pursue a career in finance. I have batchmates who are going to go into health finance after this. So yes, you can. Emily, if you could just share the email in the chat box. I hope these answers and this presentation was helpful for you guys. If you do have any more questions, please email and we will be happy to get back to you. Thank you, Dr. Yemisi and Blessing, for that wonderful presentation. being a student already, it was still very interesting for me to watch. And I really hope it helped everyone watching this. And thank you, Emily and Barry, for organizing this. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. We're just getting the email in the chat. So if you would like to stick around until we've got that in, no problem. But thank you. Yeah, thank you, Yamisi. Thank you, Karina. And thank you, Blessing, for all your support. Again, any questions from anyone in the audience, or if one comes to you after this, we're more than happy to answer it.